we're back with part 2 of this question. Just a quick reminder that the link to this specific question can be found in the description box below, right? In this part, we are going to complete our updated cash book and our bank reconciliation using the information that we came up with from after we completed the first process, which was checking off the bank statement details against the cash book and completing our open reconciliation. Okay, so we're going to start off with updating our cash book. You need to drop your T account and keep in mind that you have to label or give titles to your documents. Always do this. This is our updated cash book. Okay, I am going to utilize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6. Just let me make this bigger so I can format this monster. That's to the top. I just want to merge. Of course, you will not be taking this long to do this because you'll be writing this on your papers, but you feel free to fast forward. Right, now that I've done set up my T account for my cash book, let me enter my column headings. We have date, details, $, or you can write the word amount, up to you. Date, details, $. Just going to make the details column a bit wider. Now, when entering the date for your updated cash book, as you go through your information, you do not have to write the date you see next to the transaction from the document you're pulling it from. You can just write the month-end date and then just continue entering your details as normal, right? So, as this is being updated as at March 31st, we're just going to put that on both sides. And then the details will just follow. Let's bring back up that worksheet. Good, so remember I said that anything we circled on our bank statement, these would have been the amounts that were missing from our cash book. So we have to use those amounts to update our cash book, right? We'll first start off with that balance carried down figure. If the balance carried down is on the credit side, then we have to enter the amount on the debit side as the balance brought down. So they would be on our debit side in our updated cash book as balance brought down and not carried down. So that amount was, as you can see over here, 430.71. 2.71. So we have the balance brought down. Now we can go ahead and look at the details on the bank statement and update accordingly. So the first thing we have circled is that interest income for 195.26. Let's enter that detail. Interest. At this point, you can decide if you want to enter all the information on your credit side of your bank statement on the debit side of your cash book first, or if you want to enter all the information on the debit side on the credit side of your cash book, or if you just want to follow along and enter the details as you come across it. Just find a method that works for you. Okay, so I'm going to enter all the information on the credit side of the bank statement first that we have circled, then do the debit side, right? So let's continue. We have that credit transfer for 222. $222.55. Good, so I think that's it for the credit side. Let's head over to our credit side of the cash book and enter what we see on the debit side of the bank statement on that side. First thing we see, drawings, 300. Then we have standing order for $149.55. And finally, those bank charges for $34.65. Now, there are no additional notes in this question that we have to factor in, so we can just go ahead after we've entered all the details from that bank statement in our updated cash book and balance our cash book. So let's see which side is bigger. The debit side is 848.52, while the credit side is 484.2. So our balance carried down will be on the credit side of our cash book. So we can do our totaling. Let me make this bigger again so that I can do my adjustments one time. So this one's up. Type of lines here. Total everything on the debit side. And my balance carried down would be the total of everything on my debit side minus the total of everything on my credit. Oops, sorry. Once I sum everything, it should come back to 848.52. So we've completed the update in the cash book. We have our balance carried down, and our balance carried down is obviously our balance brought down for the prior period, and it goes on the opposite side of the cash book. Now, the reason why I am putting this over here for you to see one time is because students have a tendency of making this specific mistake when we move on to the bank reconciliation. So let's go ahead and start heading up our title, adding our title for our bank reconciliation, since that's the next thing we have to do, the next and final thing. So again, D. Reynolds. This is our bank reconciliation as at March 31st. Because this is the month end, we have to put March 31st, all right? 2018. Again, we start off with our balance per cash book. Now, this is where students tend to make this mistake. Because the balance carried down is on the credit side, they would enter that figure, but as a negative number. No, our balance carried down is the balance brought down on the opposite side. So if the balance brought down is on the debit side, it is a positive figure. If the balance brought down is on the credit side of the cash book, it is a negative figure because that's an overdraft, right? So I hope you're clear on that. So this will be a positive figure because the brought down balance is on the debit side. So we enter that, 364.32. Now we can bring back up our question paper and add those unpresented checks. Quick reminder here that you're using the details from your cash book to update your bank reconciliation. All right, so unpresented checks, we look at the credit side of our cash book and we see there are two checks that were unpresented. The one for T and Tech and A James. So let's add those. You make sure you show your working. 217.46 plus 143.36. Those are added. And we come down to the bottom and we'll be deducting anything we have on the debit side of the cash book. So those would be our unrecorded deposits. Let's scan through, and we only have one unrecorded deposit, which is the sales figure over here. So there's no calculation required since this is the only one. You're deducting it, so make sure you put in your brackets to indicate it is being subtracted. That amount is 492.40. Balance per bank statement is what we will have to figure out next. And hopefully if all this is correct, if we captured all the information in the correct place, our balance per bank statement should come back to the 532.74 that we see over here on our bank statement. All right, let's see what we get. Just going to sum everything. All right, so we have 232.74. So our balance per bank statement is $232.74. But that is not, if we look at our bank statement, what we're supposed to have. So we did an error somewhere. I purposely did an error in here so that you are able to understand the thought process of trying to determine how to go about correcting your error. So first thing first, since you see the two ending balances per bank statement differ, you need to figure out how much you are out by. So we are, it looks like 532.74 and 232.74. That should be a $300 difference. That's flat 300. We can quickly scan through our cash book and bank statement to see if we see the $300 and determine what went wrong. In this case, luckily, it's just one figure and we do have the $300. So let's see what went wrong. It looks like we have circled in our bank statement $300 and we have it checked off in our cash book. Because we circled it, remember we said we're going to use the amount circled to update our cash book. So that $300 actually should not be included in our cash book calculation because it is on the bank statement and it was found in the cash book. So we should actually cross that out. So let's do that. That's what happened. This should be crossed out. Oops, sorry, just let me highlight that error then. Not allowing me to cross it off. Oh, I can move that. All right, cross it off and we are good there. Now that we've identified it, we will remove it from our calculation. All right. Just let me do a quick thing here. Oh, that's because I typed it. So let's remove that. Good. Our opening balance brought down that we're using, our ending balance, sorry, that we're using in our balance per cash book is actually 664.32. So we add our unpresented checks and the recorded deposit, sorry, we do come back to that ending balance of 532.74, which matches our bank statement over here, 532.74. So I hope you understand that yes, you can be doing a question and going on quite nicely and then realize, oh, my balance isn't coming back. So you just need to first, as I said, find out the difference, what you're out by, and then you can start going back through your information to see what you did wrong to make the correction. So there's no need to overthink it or panic or anything. You just need to know how to approach it. I really hope this helps you understand how we prepare these reports, and if you made any errors going through it under exam conditions, how you can approach trying to figure out how to fix it. And remember, you must follow through. If you don't follow through, because you might think, oh, I have something wrong, but if you don't follow through to the end, you won't be able to determine where you went wrong. So follow through first and then go back and decide and try to determine, where you went wrong. So I hope this video helps.